Welcome to the Punter, your best guide to the Premiership weekend fixtures. I'm Flash Gordon Watson and I'm joined by the top stats man in the business, Chrissy Graham. Chrissy, how are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good, yeah. Looking forward to a few games this weekend?
Absolutely. You got that Friday feeling.
Yes. No, there's no other feeling like it.
Sizzling.
Okay, and now on the other side of the screen, we've got the Bet Butler, who will give us all the odds and obviously point us in the right direction. We're going to start off at Upton Park, lunchtime kickoff, West Ham versus Chelsea, and it's not a good fixture for Chelsea, this.
Well, at the moment, it's not. Historically, it is. They're unbeaten in 12 against West Ham. They've got an excellent record against West Ham. But you're right, things aren't just quite right at HMS Stamford Bridge at the moment. But things aren't that good at West Ham either. Just one win in the last 6. I see their form just tailing off a little bit. And they've got some brutal fixtures coming up between now and Christmas. So I expect to see West Ham in the bottom half by the time we open our presents on Christmas Day. I think they'll lose tomorrow. I think Chelsea will win. I think it'll be a struggle. They'll get there in the end, but I think we'll finally see Benitez silence the boo boys and get the 3 points.
Butler, Chrissy Graham fancies Chelsea. Not so sure myself.
Well, we haven't left the best to last. The best bet of the weekend is at the beginning straight away for me, and it's not, as you would expect. I'm not going for West Ham. There's a massive anti-Chelsea backlash with the punters out there at the moment. They started off for this fixture around about 8 to 11. They're drifting out to even money, and that price is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And come kick-off time, they're going to be odds against, I believe. Chelsea, champions of Europe, a fantastic record at Upton Park. A lot of teams go to Upton Park and get intimidated. Not this Chelsea side. They've won 4-0, 4-1, 3-1 in the past, and at even money, I think it's too big. I appreciate the problems that are going on there. 2 0-0s at home and not the greatest of confidence for anybody, but away from home, I think Chelsea might thrive. What happened at Blackburn last season under Steve Keane? At home, they were abysmal. Away from home, the pressure weren't off. The pressure weren't on the manager. And I think we'll see an attacking team from Chelsea. Team news is vital, but at the moment, if this price gets bigger, you've got to be on the Chelsea. European Championships, odds against at Upton Park, definitely for me.
Team selection, vital, is the piece of information you need to take out of that clip. And are we looking at goals, or do you think this will be a real tight affair, especially with Benitez not scoring in the last 2 games?
Exactly, first time 2 consecutive 0-0 since September 2004 for Chelsea. So yeah, that puts me off massively. You know, West Ham, 9 of their 14 games have gone under this season. Chelsea, for all their attacking flair and verve, 6 of their 14 games have gone under. Unders for me, definitely, now that they've been Rafa-ified. Butler.
It's unders for Chrissy G. I can't go against him.
Absolutely right. Given the stats there, 9 of the games from both teams, but 4 of the last 6, the recent stats form have been under from both teams as well, under 2.5 goals. I think under will be the favourite, but again, we've got to wait for the teams. If he plays Bertrand and Cole defensively, it's a certainty, but that price will move. It's 4 to 5 now, the under 2.5 goals. If that team's line up is what we saw in the midweek, that could go to sort of 8 to 13, something like that. The under 4 to 5 is going to be popular. Over 2.5 is even money, but I agree with you boys. I don't think there's many goals, but I think Chelsea will win it. Well, a low-scoring win.
OK, well, if Chelsea are going to win, or even if West Ham are going to win, we're going to need a goal scorer. Can you pick one out?
I must admit I hate this market, but and I always like going for a massive price. So okay. I've gone for a guy I always think is a bit of value, and that's Branislav Ivanovic, 25 to 1 to score first tomorrow. He's a top scoring defender in the Premier League over the last 3 seasons. There's always an attacking presence about him. And I think at 25 to 1 he offers a wee bit of value.
We're talking value with Ivanovic. Is there value with Torres, Butler?
Absolutely no. He's 6 to 1 to score that unbelievable price. He hasn't scored in 10 hours of football. 6 to 1 to score the first goal. Around about 6 to 4 to score at any time. Some bookmakers, I think Ladbrokes themselves, are offering when will Torres score his next goal market. I think in 2014 will be the favourite in that one. But 6 to 1 Torres to be the favourite here for Chelsea. And they're also favourite as well in the whole match, which I don't really understand. Mata, if he plays, surely he's got to be more of a chance than Torres. Hazard a 9 to 1. Gone off the ball a little bit, Hazard. Obviously, Carroll 8 to 1 for West Ham, but whenever he plays, it means Nolan scores. 10 to 1 Nolan could get the thing, but I think it's a game of very few goals. At Chrissy's point, Ivanovic at 25 to 1, a great little shout there. But I think if Mata plays, 8 to 1 will look too big.
OK, that's the early kickoff at 12:45, the first of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. We're going to go to the Emirates. It's Arsenal versus Swansea. Arsenal coming off the back of 2 draws, at home to Swansea on the back of 4 points out of the last 6. Arsenal win though?
Reluctantly, yes. I mean, Nigel took us to the odds. in a minute. Arsenal's odds are horrifying, just disgusting, far too short. Swansea have really impressed me. I thought they were going down this year. They've been absolutely fantastic, up there in the top 8, and they deserve to be there. But it's crucially, Flash, it's the home form that's been the key for them. They've not been quite as prolific away from home. So for that reason, I think Arsenal will get the job done. But again, like last season's match where it finished, I think 1-0, similar scoreline for me tomorrow.
Butler, we like Arsenal, but is it proceed with caution?
I think they're going to be very short, as Chris said there. 1-2, they'll win the game. You know, Swansea are banging form, but Arsenal scoring goals. They haven't scored many in the last 2 games, only 1 in the 2. But previous to that, gets in lots and lots of goals. Walcott is key for him. There's a doubt over Walcott. Will he play? He looks confident again. Will he be playing for a new club in the transfer window? That's the big thing here. Swansea is 7-1 to win the game. I can't really back them at 7-1. And the draw at 16-5, a little bit bigger than the 3s. It's all about Arsenal for me here at the 2-1 on. But I think if you're going to play Swansea, your best way to play will be on the Asian handicap, where you get 1.5 goal start or 1 goal start, and so they don't, as long as they don't get a real hammering at the Emirates, you're in the money. I think that could be the best way to go. But I think Arsenal have enough a little bit quality for them. 2-1 on, not for me. Definitely be for punters out there who want to back them in their accumulators. But I think Arsenal may just have a little bit too much at home to Swansea.
OK, well, we'll go from North London to South West London. Craven Cottage, Fulham versus Tottenham. We say we don't oppose Fulham at the Cottage. Can we oppose them this weekend?
No, I wouldn't. No, I just can't trust Spurs. I think back to the Norwich game earlier in the season, the West Brom game, the Wigan game they lost. There's just too many banana skins that they've tripped over. So, and I think Fulham at home, like you say, just 3 defeats in 16 in 2012 at the Cottage. All right, they've not been in great form this season in the last few games, but they're very justifiable results if you look deeper into the match itself. For me, I think Fulham can beat Spurs tomorrow.
Butler. It's Fulham at home. We're not going against them again.
Well, I am. I really do. I think they haven't won in 6 Fulham. An awful lot of draws. Tottenham have a fantastic record in this fixture. I was at the game last year. It was 3-1. Tottenham, it was one of the best games I've seen all season. I think it'll be a similar kind of game. Lots of attacking flair. I looked at the first 11 that Tottenham put out in midweek against Liverpool. It didn't have the possession, but it looked strong. They're 5th in the table. They're going up and up and up. So Fulham haven't won in 6 games, and I think that little blip may suffer for them. Their squad is no Hangeland, not the same without him. Ruiz is out. Injury hits Fulham. 21-10, a little bit bigger than 2-1. On first glance, you've got to say that's a little bit of value. But when you look at the players they're missing and the key players they've got and the key players returning for Spurs, the 6-4 Spurs perhaps might not be the greatest of bets. But it's all about the draw for me. 12-5. I think this will be a high-scoring draw. I'm going to go for a 2-2 and another possible 3-3 in a Fulham game.
You do like your 2-2s and your 3-3s. Butler, we're off to Anfield. Liverpool versus Southampton. And a lot of people are just going to put 1 home win. Not so sure.
Not at all, not at all. I think Southampton will be bang up for this, Flash, as you know better than me. Unbeaten in 4. Ricky Lambert, a Kirby lad, he's going to be right up for this match against his club that he supported as a boy. And you factor all that in and you put in the fact that Liverpool struggled against promoted clubs last season. I'm thinking Norwich, I'm thinking Swansea. And the fact they've only won 4 times in 16 games at Anfield in 2012. I think Southampton might win this.
Butler, Liverpool, 8 home goals. Surely Southampton got chances.
They've certainly got chances. The bookmakers aren't giving them the chance they deserve. 8-1 to win a game. The biggest outsiders on the coupon this weekend. I don't think they're an 8-1 shot. I think they're around about a 6-1 shot. But would I back them? Certainly not. Liverpool 4-9. They always let you down at home, as we say, week in and week out. 19-5 the draw. Could be a little bit of value. But the way to play this game is definitely Southampton plus 1.5 goals in the Asian handicap. As long as Liverpool don't win by more than 1, you'll win. And I think that's the best way to play it.
OK, you said the best bet earlier on was Chelsea. Well, here's, I think, the best bet of the day. This will be Queen's Park Rangers at home to Aston Villa at Loftus Road. Home debut for Harry Redknapp.
Yeah, I think they'll win tomorrow, but again, the bookmakers aren't giving much away, as Nigel will tell us in a minute. It's not exactly a great price. I believe in Redknapp. I've believed in QPR since the start of the season. I don't believe in Aston Villa. It's a very young squad. I think it was the youngest ever Villa squad on Tuesday night against Reading. QPR for me, definitely. Redknapp's got a great record against Villa as well.
We are ours all the way, Butler.
Yeah, I know you're that. Don't worry about that. But anyway, let me tell you something. I'll tell you what, QPR here, they're 21-20, a little bit bigger than even money. The thing is here is that they haven't won a game in 14 matches. Their 14 matches haven't won a game. The reason why you're taking even money, you're definitely a couple of hours. Anyway, Aston Villa 3-1 to win the game, 5-2 the draw. One thing away to play is definitely go under 2.5 goals. Not many goals, and it's nervy. Villa will be very defensive, and I wouldn't rule out a 0-0 again. OK, goalless draw. You like your entertainment, Butler. Last one we're going to go through in this part. West Bromwich Albion versus Stoke at the Hawthorns.
Toss of a coin?
Not at all. If you cut me open, I bleed stats. I'll keep it very simple. West Brom, 6 wins from 7 at home this season. Stoke, no away wins since the second day of the year against Blackburn. For that reason, I'm all over West Brom.
OK, Butler, West Brom, but maybe cue the upset.
He loves his stats, but also he didn't say that Stoke have won 5 of the last 6 in this fixture. You know, very much, stats can read you one way or the other way, depending if you want current form or history form. 14-5 Stoke, 12-5 the draw, 11-10 West Brom. It's all about West Brom for me. Whether they can come back from that blip last week. Jonas Olsen, if he plays, they win. If he doesn't play, get on Stoke.
OK, we're going to take a short break now, but when you come back, we'll finish off with the Saturday games, which include 1 and 2 in the Premier League. Welcome back to the Punter. I'm Flash Gordon Watson, and today I'm with top stats man in the business, Chrissy Graham, and the Bet Butler, who knows everything about everything when it comes to odds. We're off to the Etihad, Man City versus Everton, and I look at this and I think, one tough game.
Yeah, I mean, Everton have had a great, it looks a great season, but scratch the surface, just 1 win in 8, decent draw in midweek against Arsenal. Man City's home form, absolutely astonishing. They've taken 102 points and possible 108 since Everton beat them back in December 2010 at home. I just think they'll be too strong. I think Everton will finish in the top 8 this year, no higher, and I just think Man City will be too strong tomorrow, definitely.
Butler, Man City flexing their muscles.
Man City looking good for me, and I think they should be favourites for the Premier League title. I really do. A lot of people disagree with me, but I think they're going to get better and better and better. They've gone through a little blip. At home, they're so strong. They never, ever lose. Obviously, Manchester United as well. But the price you get here is 4-7, and that looks a little bit of value to me. I would expect them to see about 2-1 on, something like that. Everton have a good record here. 4 of the last 6 matches they've played, they've won, and the draw at 16-5. There's been a lot of draws recently in Everton games. 4 of their last 6 games have been draws. One thing about Everton is they always score goals. I mean, every game, I think there's the last 7 games they played, both teams have scored in all 7. And I think that's the best way to play this game. I think Man City will win, but I think Everton will get a goal. So both teams will score for me. I'm not going to sit on the fence. I'm going to go for a home win, but I think both teams will score.
Home win, both teams to score. So obviously we're pointing to the overs, are we?
Yeah, I actually like the unders, to be quite honest.
Really?
I think Everton, yeah, Nigel's right, they have scored in quite a few games. Jelavic, for me, is just not as prolific as he was. He was quite disappointing again against Arsenal. And Man City have scored far less this season than they have at this point last year. I think it's almost half the goals compared to this time last season. So I think odds against for unders, and I think that for me is the shout.
OK, well, Chrissy Graham fancies unders. Not so sure myself, Butler.
Well, he's a stats man, and 5 of the last 6 games between these sides have produced done. That's why he's going for it. And he's looking for a little bit of value, 11-10. You could possibly say that'd be a bit of value. But over 23 at 2.5 at 13-20 is the way the trend has been going at the moment this season. So I think there'll be goals. I think Man City have to put on performance. I think team news is vital. No Tevez in recent games. If he plays, I'm going over. Without him, I don't think they're the same. Under could look a bit of value. But you could still get it right. You could go under 2.5 goals and have a 1-1 draw. Both teams will score, and we'll all be happy.
OK, well, obviously we're going under, but we are expecting goals, so we need a first goal scorer or a pointer in that direction. And Fellaini, they say, is back.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the difference he made to the team Wednesday night when he was back in the team, wasn't he? But I'll go for a bigger price again, as always. And a man absolutely integral to Manchester City. He was off the boil for a few months at the start of 2012, but he's rediscovering that form now, and that's David Silva. I think he's a good shout. I think he's about 9-1 to score first in this game, and I think the wee Spanish magician can get the job done here.
Butler, we're looking at the wee Spanish magician. I think he means a small person.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them in this, and there's a lot of small people around. Tevez, Nigel Aguero, the wee Argentinian magician, and the wee other Argentinian magician. 11-2 Balotelli. No, can't say much about him not being wee, but Jelavic heads the market. Everton at 11-1. I agree with Chris. I think you've got to bring some other people from Man City. I mean, you've got Yaya Toure there, who's going to be involved in a massive battle with Fellaini. I think it's going to be key to who wins the game, and Yaya Toure. But when those two are involved, it could make space for someone, Nasri. But again, with Man City games, hold your bet to the last minute. See the lineup, because some of these players won't even be playing. If we see the likes of De Zeko on there, he'll be the favourite, and Tevez won't be there. So be careful. We know what to expect from Everton. We don't know what to expect from Manchester City. So if you fancy a Man City player, wait and see what team Roberto Mancini puts out before you place your bet.
OK, that covers the blue half. Let's go for the red half at the Majeski Stadium. The evening kick-off, 5:30. It's Reading versus Manchester United. And this could be tougher than it actually looks.
I agree completely. I really do. I think Reading have just lost 1 in the last 6. They've only lost by more than 1 goal once this season. So they're not getting hammered at all. They're very respectable results for a newly promoted side, and they score goals. And Manchester United, for me, just aren't firing all cylinders just now. I know we saw them take the lead again in 31 seconds on Wednesday night, but they weren't able to score again for the rest of the match. You know, I think about the QPR game as well. They were 1-0 down for a long period. They're just not firing just now.
They didn't score away at Norwich.
Exactly. Of course, Norwich before that, and the Villa game before that, they were 2-0 down. So they're just not clicking at the moment. So for me, I think this could be a lot tougher than people are expecting, and maybe a draw.
Big price on Reading, Butler.
You're going to get a very big price, the biggest home price in the Premier League season, 7-1, the same price as we've seen some teams away from home at odds-on favourites. Manchester United 4-9 to win the game. They are coming good. They always give you a chance, though. They always concede goals. They've got to score more than you, and 9 times out of 10 they do that. Odds-on aways have been a very, very bad strategy in the last couple of weeks. Arsenal failed to beat Aston Villa, and Manchester United himself failed to beat Norwich. I can't see Sir Alex Ferguson letting that slip. Sports Goals is suspended. Surprise, surprise. It's taken so long. December time versus Sports Goals is suspended. The draws are 4-1 should you boys fancy, but I like both teams to score here. Reading have scored 4 at home to Arsenal. They scored against on the road at Chelsea a couple of goals, and I think they'll score against Man United. The problem is, I think Man United will score at least double what they have.
I agree with you, Butler, and also they'll know exactly what Man City have done earlier on in the day. So I think that Manchester United will get the job done, but I just don't think it's a 4-9, to be honest. Yeah. Goal scorers.
Well, you know, I always get to go for a big price, and I agree with Nigel. I think Reading will score definitely. So let's look at a Reading player. I think for me, Adam Lafondra at 12-1. Manchester United got this knack or this disease of conceding first in a game. I think they've had six comeback wins already this season, so it could happen again here, couldn't it? They could go behind again. So let's back Lafondra at 12-1.
Okay, we're going for Adam Lafondra, Butler.
Yeah, I mean, will he play? That's the only thing I would doubt about. You know, he's come off sub quite a bit. He's not been a first name sheet recent weeks, perhaps. But this Remy at 11-1, totally gone off the boil there. I would not back him. I never fancied him at all at Fulham, and I still don't rate him as a 60 grand a week Premier League player. Roberts 14-1, Lafondra at 12-1. Man United very short price favourites. The only thing you have to say about Man United is that in midweek in Europe, they've already qualified. So they'll send the kids over there. They'll send the kids in the next game, and all these players will probably feature. No value here in the Man United section. The value lies here. But really, I haven't got a clue which one to pick. So I'll leave it up to you, punters.
Thank you very much. Well, we're looking at overs and unders, and I don't think you're going to get rich going over.
Yeah, a very, very short price. So, you know, in that case, how can we make a case for the unders? And I think there's a key stat. 3 of the last 4 Manchester United games in all competitions have gone under 2.5. So that wee stat brings a bit of hope to people who want to take the bigger price on under 2.5.
Okay, if you're going unders, we're looking for Reading to sit in, Butler.
I don't think it's in their nature to do that, though, is it, Flash? They only know one style of football: attack, and that's why you're getting under 2.5 goals here at 13-10, and the over is 4-7, the shortest on the coupon. Bookies are expecting goals, and when bookies usually expect goals or don't expect goals, 9 times out of 10 they get it right. I think over 2.5 goals is probably statistically the way you want to go. Look at the matchups of 2 sides, but it's all about the first 25-30 minutes. If Reading can keep it tight, then in running the under 2.5 goals will come a bet. But at the beginning of the game, it's got to be the overs, but 4-7, not for me. Over 3.5, 6-4. That's how much they're expecting goals. Usually a 5-2 shot, and it's 6-4 about that.
Okay, the top of the table will be all sorted out by 7 o'clock on Saturday. The bottom of the table brings us to Carrow Road, 4 o'clock on Sunday. Norwich versus Sunderland, and this is already a 6-pointer.
It is, I know. We're just reminiscing in the studio. I think it's a repeat of the 85 League Cup final, the 92 FA Cup semi-final with John Byrne scored for Sunderland. How are Sunderland in this position? How's it happening, Flash? I just can't even.
I think it get worse as well.
Well, I'm steadfastly sticking with this Martin O'Neill side. I love Martin O'Neill.
You might stick with Sunderland longer than Martin O'Neill.
Well, very possibly. If this was priced up in August, the prices would be completely different. Sunderland, for me, are a big price, as Nigel will explain in a bit. And I'm steadfastly sticking with Sunderland.
Butler. Can't have Sunderland. Well, can't have Norwich.
Sorry, mate. Sunderland went to Fulham last week. You know, the place you say you can't win. And they went and won 3-1 the week before last. But I think there was obviously no Hangeland there in the side. But Norwich, I've been very impressed with them. Very defensive-minded, very strong at home. Always been strong at home. But it's their eye form that's been good. They've got a draw. Your boys Southampton last week 1-1. Sunderland 29-10. But it's all about this for me. 12 to 5 the draw, a very low scoring draw, and it's got to be the value. I can't make a case for Norwich, I can't make a case for Sunderland. Sunderland draw more games than anybody else, and so do Norwich at home, and I think the draw at 12 to 5 is certainly the value.
And if it does end up in a draw, I don't think it suits anybody. Unders and overs?
Well, unders definitely. I looked at the price and it's actually a value price. I wanted to see if Nigel agrees with me. Sunderland, like we see, they're not scoring goals at all, as we saw on Tuesday night again. And Norwich have been, really good defensively, and I think most of the wins this season have been 1-0. So it all points to under 2.5. What I think is a value price. Do you agree, Nigel?
Butler, is Christmas come early with unders?
I think it has, mate. I really do. I think under 4 to 6. I mean, I always like it when it's around about 5 to 6 or even monies, but all the stats, as Chris will tell you, point to under 2.5 goals. How can you have any Sunderland game where you're not going under 2.5 goals? If you go over, you need your head examining. And how can you go with Norwich any over 2.5 goals in any of their home games? It looks a certain under 2.5 goals, but I really like, again, the 0-0 in this game at a big, tasty price, around about a 10 to 1 shot. Under 2.5 goals may get the professional punt out there, 4 to 6, but the more recreational punter who wants a fiver and a tenner and enjoy the game, you've got to go for a no-goal score, 10 to 1, and have a nice few beers on Monday night.
Yeah, couldn't put you off, Butler. That's the only game on a Sunday, but we go to Monday and we look at Newcastle versus Wigan, and I think Newcastle are the same as Sunderland. They're only going one way at the moment.
Yeah, what's happened there? I think since we talked about this on Wednesday night on the show, since Alan Pardew's penned that contract, now just 1 win in 9, he just got the cigar out and just sort of back and this is easy.
It's coincided with all his creativity and all his creative players injured.
Injured, yeah. But there's always a price in this game. And, if you're looking at backing Wigan, I backed Wigan in this fixture 2 years ago. They were 9 to 2 that day. They're nowhere near that price, as Nigel will explain in a moment. So I can't back Wigan here. So for me, a draw.
You can't go with Newcastle, though.
I can't.
We don't like Newcastle, Butler. Wigan, another away win.
I totally agree with Chris here. I think Newcastle, if you ask everybody, a Newcastle team to oppose. But when you get to see the price on offer, 21 to 20, a little bit bigger even money about a team, they're still going to be heavily supported. There'll still be 50,000 people there cheering them on. The only thing I would say is in running in this game, if Newcastle after 25 minutes are frustrated by a 0-0, I think the crowd will turn on them. And I think that's when Wigan and the draw will come value. But at the moment, 21 to 20, looks a little bit too big. I can't make a case for them because of the way they're playing, but they do look too big. So what I would do here is I'd wait in running, like 15, 20 minutes, see if Newcastle aren't creating any chances, see if the crowd turn around in Pardew and his team, and then back the draw. I think the draw at 12 to 5 makes tremendous appeal. I think Wigan will be delighted with a draw here. Newcastle will be frustrated again, and they're downwards. But at the moment, this 21 to 20, on first glance, looks a bit big.
Newcastle, lower than a snake's belly when it comes to the confidence tanks. I mean, they 1-0 up for 10 minutes to go against Stoke last week.
Yeah.
They got beat. They should have been beat 7 by Saints the week before. And now they go back in front of their home fans with no creative players.
Yeah, you've got to sort it out. This team finished 5th last season. Come on, sort it out. But, I think if you're looking at goals here, I don't think there'll be many at all. Newcastle just scored 14 this season, Wigan just 15, so they're both quite low-scoring teams in the Premier League this season. So from a goals point of view, it would be an unders bet for me.
Butler, under for us?
Certainly, mate. Wigan always score goals at home. They never score goals away. Only 4 goals away. Under 2.5 goals, 5 to 6. Get on.
Cheers, Butler. That gives me enough time just to wrap through. The Butler's best bet is Chelsea. Yours is?
Chelsea as well.
You're going to go Chelsea as well? I like Queen's Park Rangers, but I think on Monday you're looking at Wigan getting something at St James's Park. Gives me enough time to say thank you to the top stats man in the business, the best betting man in the Bet Butler, and I've been Flash, and we'll see you again soon.